So the basic workflow for using design review with Revit would go something like this, where we have an existing file and a new file where there's been changes made between each. I currently have both of those Revit models open on my system. The UHS Central PW is the existing one that was loaded to ProjectWise, and the UHS Central S Bennett is the current one with the changes that have been made to it. So we'll start with the existing one, and we'll publish a multi-sheet DWF file from Revit. You can do that by going to the Revit menu, going to Export, and choosing DWF. And then we'll tell it that we want to export views within this model, and we only want to export specific sheets. And we'll scroll down and we'll ensure that the sheets I want exported are selected. So we've got those two selected. We'll also check DWF properties and ensure that element properties and room and areas are selected. We'll click Next. Note, if you click Save Settings, this box will close and you'll get to do this again. So we'll click Next. We're going to choose a location to save this. So I'll go ahead and pick a folder for it. The UHS Central PW is going to contain two DWF sheets, sheet AX21B and AX21C. And this check mark here tells Revit that it will create one DWF file that contains multiple sheets. Then I'm going to switch over to the new project with the changes that have been made, and again I'll run that export. Ideally this the existing export would have been done the previous week. The export I'm doing here in this current file would be done in the current week. I'm going to again tell it in session views and sheets. Look only at sheets. This is like a filter. We can scroll down and ensure that the desired sheets are selected. I'm going to click check none and select B and C. Again, I'll check my DWF properties, make sure my selected checkboxes are set, click Next, pick a spot to save it. So in Windows Explorer, in that multi-sheet folder where I place my DWF files, I've got two. I've got my one that says UHS Central PW. This is the existing or previous upload. The one that says UHS Central S Bennett, this is the one with the changes. So I'll go ahead and double click the existing file. Doesn't really matter which one we start with. Double clicking it will open Design Review 2011. If we don't already have that installed, you'll have to get that from Autodesk's website. So it goes ahead and opens up the sheet file here. If you look on the left hand side, we can see thumbnails of the different sheets that we have. So it went and included both of those. And to start with, we'll go ahead and say compare sheets. We'll click browse and we'll grab the new one with the changes, click open, and I'll pick this matching sheet and click OK. And you can see it automatically highlights in color where the changes are. So I can go to my Markup and Measure tab, and we'll click the rectangular cloud tool, and I can cloud these areas that have changed for future note. There's also stamps that you can add in. You can resize these with the yellow dots. So if you want to have that displayed differently, you can always resize it. Press and drag for most objects works within Design Review. You can also measure items to find out where the changes might have been. And it helps if you go to corners, actually, to get straight measurements. If we wanted to compare the second drawing, we'll go ahead and go back to Tools, Compare Sheets, and browse for that modified DWIF. Notice I went to the sheet I want to compare first before going in here, and then select the corresponding sheet to compare. You can see it continues to add our markups, so we can filter those out later on if we need to. We can address them. It also has tools. When you select these different markups, you can add notes to these. You can give what the status is, whether it's for review, whether there's a question, or if you're done reviewing that. And that information gets saved within the file. And that concludes our design review demo.